Guzman, Administrator Guzman. I will begin by recognizing myself for 5 minutes. Ms. Guzman, access to capital, as you know, is critical to small businesses, and the SBA loan programs have had a banner year. How will you continue this success and also expand to employee-owned businesses and cooperatives as mandated by statute?
Our capital access team is positioning, and our whole agency is positioning to make sure that we can serve not only those new 5.4 million entrepreneurs, but all of our firms across the country. And we know that access to capital remains a really important issue for so many of them to overcome. In particular, around the Main Street Act, we're really committed to making sure that all businesses have pathways to accessing capital, including those that are employee-owned and those ESOPs. And so we have worked with the advocates in the industry to see if we can see what we can do to assess and adapt our programs to fit their needs, and we have made some important changes, and we'll continue to assess those programs as we move forward and as we see more loan volume coming through, so that we can work with ESOPs and worker cooperatives. We know that as small businesses exit, employee ownership is a good pathway in many cases to transition and exit their firm successfully, and we'd like to make sure that capital is available.
So how is SBA using new technology, streamline loan processes, and focus outreach to promote the programs, particularly to the underserved?
Across all of our loan programs, we of course rely on our 68 district offices, our over 1,300 resource partners, and now our newly established community navigators to really reach out to more small businesses to get them capital ready. In addition, we have a strong network of lenders and have looked to expand that with the Community Advantage pilot program that we recently overhauled, as well as opening it up so that we can allow new licensees to come into the program, and especially those mission lenders.
Thank you. Fraud controls previously removed in 2020 to expedite relief were reinstituted under your leadership. At our hearing in January, the IG commended SBA for its action implementing his recommendations. Can you expound on your efforts to prevent fraud and abuse related to the agency's COVID and relief programs?
President Biden is really committed to making sure funds get into the hands of those businesses it was intended to serve, and the administration early on, we ensured that we could put in those controls, some of those across our COVID EIDL program, of course, in which that was a unique case of a tale of 2 years, truly. We've also leveraged technology so that we can assess our portfolios and make sure that fraud is indicated, and created strong partnerships and collaboration and transparency with the IG as well as the GAO. We want to make sure that we're implementing fraud detection at inception of design, and that's
how
what
often are you meeting with the
I meet with the IG every biweekly to make sure that we're coordinated on all of the reports and that we're ahead of the game, because obviously fraud is an iterative process and we need to continue to evolve. And then with the GAO, I meet on a quarterly basis and just recently met with Comptroller General Dodaro to discuss the SBA.
Thank you. SBA is requesting $20 million to implement the SBA Act, which mandated SBA to become the sole provider of formal certifications for all veteran-owned small businesses. What are SBA's plan to stand up this certification program, and why is this funding critical?
Within our funding request, our budget, we're requesting $20 million in 23 to continue our efforts. We've been collaborating with the VA on this transition, and we're looking forward to it and talking to the veteran stakeholders across the country. We've found that they're looking forward to the transition and that SBA has a host of services and offerings that they can access. And so going to one-stop shop, in essence, will be beneficial to them. Working closely with the VA, we've made sure that we're aligned on transitioning personnel, technology, and that we can have a seamless transition so there's no interruption of service for our veterans, and we can expand it to more veterans across the government.
Thank you. And now my time basically has expired, even though I have other questions. The ranking member, Mr. Lukemeyer, is now recognized for